items from controller to view. Listen it clearly. Controller to view, and within the view bind to the drop down list. So we are sending some items from controller to viewer, and those items we are binding within the drop down list like this. Select your country. Select your country. What is this? Some items I'll show you. I'll write the code now. Yeah, you observe. For this, you need to write the code within the view as well as within the controller. Okay. So now let's see this example. The requirement is you have a drop down list. Drop down list will have one item or multi items. Drop down list will have one item or multi items. Multi items. Generally, these multi items in design time we will add with the help of option tag. Am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Select your country, India, USA, UK. These items will add by using option tag. So generally that adding is called adding the items in design time or run time. Design time. But generally items to the drop down list will add in design time or run time generally.
Runtime.
Generally the items will come from where?
Database.
Database. Okay, and the items will come from database. So database means the items will come from where? Model. Database to model to controller. Am I right? Hello. So now in this example, what we are doing, instead of database, instead of model, we are sending the items from the controller to view. First we learn up to there. Clear? So first for this example, we are writing the code within the view for your drop down list, HTML drop down list. So here this is the requirement. Now normal label is not required. Label, instead of label, here we better to use H1 tag or H2 tag. Okay, select your country, for example. Select your country and HTML drop down list. So this is ID of the drop down list. ID of the drop down list. So this is a normal submit button code. So with this, you have how many helper controls here? How many helper controls here? Only one. Only one helper control. Are you clear? Yes. So this is the story. Now, yeah. Now this code will create a control. Which control it will create? Hello.
Drop down list control.
Drop down list. You also write the code up to here and run. Let's see what is happening. You also write the code up to here and run. I am not understanding who is this caller. Edit your name, right click caller 01. Are you able to see in the attendees list caller 01? Hello? Edit your name or tell your name, man. Right, come on. Okay. Now if you run, it is throwing debugging error. Observed?
Yes, sir.
Hello. So means it is asking you to supply the items. Now items I am supplying from, right? Supplying from controller. Okay now. Yeah. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. So right. I'm supplying from controller. Take the controller. In controller, we have one action method. There I am sending like this. You observe. Right. Because tomorrow in ADO.NET example, we'll get the data from database, database to model, model to controller, controller to view. Yes. You observe. Right. List, string, my list, new list, new list. Okay. New list, string of select. The first item should be select. Okay, select, and the select should be within the double quotes. Next item is country now, so make it as India. Next, USA. Next, UK. Okay, total how many items? Hello.
4.
3 items.
Yeah, one is select and three are countries. You're
Yes.
initialized. These are all the initialized to list object. Generally, drop down list will whenever you are getting the data from database, some items which you want to bind, like country names you want to bind from the database table to database to model, model to controller. So, but in controller you have to initialize which in the list item object. Okay, because it will allow only list item objects, and those list item objects you need to keep in select list object. You have to pass to the select list object. Why? Because drop down list HTML drop down list will allow the selected list type items. Okay. Now, right. Okay. Clear. Now you observe here view data of you are storing the data into this is a model. See, there is a syntax for data from model to controller. Right now controller to view. Whenever you want to pass some data to the drop down list from controller, you should follow this syntax. View data of d1. Who is d1 here? Here d1 is id of the drop down list. What is id of the drop down list?
D1.
D1, and ID of the drop-down list and view data variable name should be same. New selected list of should be same of my list. What is this my list? My list is a list. My list is a list.
Object.
List. Tell me. List object. List object. My list is a list object. My list is a list object. Are you clear? Yes. So total how many items? How many items? Hello.
3 items.
3 items. In the first line, what you have done? You have created list object. You have created which object? List object. In list object, Tell me. In list object, we are initialized 3 items, and in the second line we created new select list object. For that select list object, we are passing which object?
My list.
List object. My list, nothing but list object. Okay, now. Right. Next to, yeah. Now that new select list object, we are initializing to the view data variable. We are initializing to the view data variable. View data variable name should be D1. Should be D1. Are you clear? Yes. Be D1. Close the div. Okay, now you run record data.
Yes, sir.
Same code you written.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Right. Now you run. Run the application.
Sir, that caller ID is mine.
This is
Varun.
Varun, you are already logging from the bottom, right?
I logged in from system, sir, but the audio is not clear, so I logged in through phone for audio.
Okay, then okay, fine, no problem. Sharada is there in the session. Sharada,
Yes, sir.
you send a message at 5:48.
Yes, sir. I was trying to log in and there was some screen showing that you should wait for the organizer, and I thought
I
I
think
was waiting.
you log into other link, it seems. Am I right?
No, sir. Same laptop. Everything is same. Every day it
Okay,
directly
fine, no
opens.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem. No, it's okay, it's okay. Right. Now come, run the application, all of you. Run the application. Right. Is it working? Is it working?
Yes.
Data working, right? So this is the way to write the code to create a HTML helper drop down list. Okay now.